to make sure that you guys knew what was happening because I didn't want to catch anybody by surprise. I'm going to be asking you all questions, and I want to hear from you what the experience has been like, right? So I'm going to ask questions like, how have the experience been? What have you learned thus far? What are you looking to learn going forward? Things like that, right? Nothing too confrontational. Got it, Ren, thank you. Nothing too confrontational, but mostly what has this P2E experience been like? I want to make sure you guys know that we are going to record it. We are going to likely put it on our Career Resources website. But the goal behind this video is to work as a recruitment tool for those that are coming after you. We've done a lot of videos prior. We've done a lot of recordings prior to. So I wanted to just make sure that you all were aware and comfortable with what's about to happen prior to us starting. So Janice, Carol, Rose, I will be asking you 3 questions, and hopefully I can get some feedback. So make sure you got some good lighting in the background. I know that Rose still trying to work through it right now, but it's a process. And then once we're all ready, we're going to get started.
That looks good, Rose. You're looking good.
Okay, wait. I gotta get everything over this way.
Get set up. Do you guys have any questions for? Perfect, Rose. Perfect. Do you guys have any questions for me before we get started?
Oh, Janice is right there. Okay, never mind.
Perfect.
Okay. No questions? Janice, Carol, or Rose?
Yeah. Just. Is
Sure.
that good? What the heck is that? Okay, just explain this to me again.
So what we're going to do is it's going to be similar to what you've been doing thus far, right? I'm going to simply ask you questions about what it's been like to come through our training program, right? So our goal through this video is to capture the experience from a participant standpoint, right? We want to know what it's like for those who are coming after you. So in the event people say, well, I don't understand too much about this Strive online program, this Career Resources online program, what is this about? And the hope is that by getting the perspective of members who are going through the process, they can gain a bit more clarity. So it's not just us telling them about it, it's you all have a chance to tell them about it as well.
Okay. And this is
Marcus, can I just say one thing for Rose?
Sure.
Because Rose wasn't here today, that Dr. Clark taught them about CRI and P2E and Strive. So that might be a question you want to throw at Janice or Carol, if you understand what I mean.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Thanks.
I do. No problem. I'm going to try to keep it as general as possible. So regardless of who sees the video, we meet all the demands of the viewers, if that makes sense. Are you ladies ready?
Okay, on this, excuse me, what's your name again?
Marcus.
Marcus, on this, in other words, interview, can we go through our notes? Because, on the top of my head, I can speak off the top of my head, but some things relate to what I learned, experience from the Strive program. I have some notes in my notebook. Is that all right?
Sure. Sure. That works.
Thank you. All right.
No problem. So we ready? Okay, let's do it. Hello, everybody, and thanks for taking the time to come join us. My name is Marcus Cherry. I am Program Director of Strive, which is a program of career resources. Today, we have a few ladies here with us today. They've been kind enough to join us to kind of talk about what it's been like to come through the experience of our online training program. So I know a lot of you have already heard a lot about what we do, the work that we provide and the services thus far. But this COVID experience has kind of put us in a different kind of position. It's put us in a position to modify our services to make sure that those across the state of Connecticut still have an opportunity to learn while in this moment of isolation. So today I have Janice Murray, Carol Moore, as well as Rose Carlson with us today. Good afternoon, ladies. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay.
Good. Good, good, good. And again, thank you all for taking the time to sit with us and just talk a little bit more about this experience online. So for those of you who are viewing this for the very first time, let me give you a little bit of background. So again, the organization I work for is called Career Resources, but specifically the program we're working with right now has been funded by the workplace through Platforms to Employment. And their goal is to help individuals who've suffered a variety of background issues, a variety of traumatic experiences, figure out how to make the adjustment and compete in today's workforce. So in the event you are interested in learning more, feel free to go to careerresources.org and reach out to Keisha Starks. Her email is starks@careerresources to learn more about the work that we're doing. But let's just jump right into it. So again, thank you ladies for joining us. But I wanted to hear, you've been part of this online experience for the last week and a half. I'm gonna start with Janice. Janice, tell me, what has this experience been like for you?
Wow. When I tell you that, when you think of career resources, you think you're coming in just to learn how to be presented to an employer. But you come in, and what I really enjoyed about being a part of this training is that they start with the core person, right? They start with you, getting to know who you are first so that you could better present yourself, to an employer. Get to know your weaknesses and your strengths and who you are, where you come from, and how to get over the barriers of your path so you can move on. So I'm like really enjoying, I'm so glad that I took the opportunity, thank God for COVID-19 in this sense, because it gave me the time to sit down and really get something out of what's going on, which people think is a negative. So yeah, I've gotten a lot out of Strive. I've gotten to know me, my weaknesses. I'm also learning how to better prepare myself for what I'm getting ready to go into, the career I'm going into.
Very true. Thank you. Thank you. And you bring up a very valid point. They say you have to take lemons and make lemonade, I guess that's what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in this moment of social distancing where everybody's staying home, people are able to take advantage of something. So it's great to hear you say that in this time of difficulty, you're still finding a way to continuously progress forward. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Carol, talk to me, like what has this experience going through this online training with us been like over the last week and a half?
For me, it's been very interesting. I learned a lot about, myself, pertaining to my characteristics, that, gave me opportunity to look at some of my behaviors that need a little adjustment. And the way in order, because I haven't been in the work field for a long time, and and some of my personality traits are not good to be able to be going forward into the work field. So I had to remove some of them behaviors and put something else in that place. So I really picked up a lot of things that she said, like she was saying, like the integrity part today was very interesting. The whole process has been very interesting and eye-opening. Like on the part with the character traits, I was letting Devonna know today that, basically on the part of being gracious, that I need to perform in my personality. I had to get that back in line with everything else, because I feel like being graceful is the biggest key to your personality on the spiritual aspect. You know what I mean? Because if once you have, I believe, this is my belief, that once I have my spiritual foundation intact, that everything else falls in place. You know what I'm saying? So basically that is what I'm working on. And, and that was very eye-opening today, because I never knew that character and, gracious was a part of character traits, so that was something I learned today too. So it was like a big help to me, because I'm really like trying to pursue back onto my spiritual aspect of my life, you know what I mean? And to get that back in line, because I really feel that, back into the workforce and going into the endeavors that I'm pursuing right now in my life, that it helps me become more effective. You know what I mean? And to adjust more to, overseeing, when I'm trying to go forward and that's to become a counselor, a drug counselor. But, I'm also having other doors opening up for me, that, in order for me to be effective, my character, my respect level, being honest, being trustworthy, because, I'm going to be dealing with people, and dealing with people, those are characteristics that you have to really have in check, and, and I have been doing a lot of soul searching, and doing Strive, it has been a very, very productive part of my life. And because if it wasn't interesting, believe me, I would not be getting up at no 8:45 in the morning. I'm sitting in front of no video to participate. So it's big. I look forward to it. I get up at 6 every morning, get myself together. You know what I mean, to be here at 8:45 or even a little earlier. You know what I mean. So it's very interesting. I'm learning a lot. And I thank God, like Janice said, the COVID virus, what looks bad could, and something bad, something good come out of it. You know what I mean? So I'm just glad that I can still pursue something, besides
Very
my
true.
schoolwork in this time,
Very true. Very true. Thank
You're welcome.
and you are you are so right. It's interesting that in this time right now where a lot of us are staying home, if you're not careful, you can clearly do away with a lot of the structure and everything you've already had established. So it's great to know that you've continuously just made sure that you stayed on schedule and you've been able to get up each morning and join us online. So thank you again for that. I greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Rose, talk to me. Talk to me, Rose. Like, what has this experience been like for you?
Okay, here goes my honesty. It has been hard. It has been hard. It has been hard for several reasons. It has been hard because I've been out of the workforce for a very long time, time. I retired from CNA work. My specialty was geriatric care with the elderly.
Okay.
It's been hard getting up, dealing with medical issues that I have. The biggest issue I deal with now is osteoarthritis, which affects the bone. So, getting up, moving around where I could, lay in the bed and just get up when I want to. Dealing with my own emotional issues. I don't like to say mental, I like emotional. Dealing with those issues, feeling like you're older, what are you doing this for? Feeling like we're in this COVID-19 thing. You don't even know if anybody's gonna have a job. What are you doing this for? Just sometimes that doubt that comes in, and mostly for me, it's on a mental and a physical level that, sometimes the sabotage comes in, of why are you really doing this? I'm not having a hard time with understanding the work at all. I really I always like school. So, I really enjoy doing the work. This morning I got kind of curious about the 3 different names that this program carries. And I know the first one is Platform to Employment, and then the Workplace, and then Strive. And I was like, I just was wondering, about all these different names. So I Googled, to find out what it was all about, and why they're the different programs. And what I found out, they're kind of break-offs of the main program. You know what I mean? And I saw how, especially the Workplace, I found it very interesting. Where they help vets, you know, they help people on disability. But you know what triggered for me? I'm a recovering addict also. And when I saw up there, it said at the workplace, plain and simple, we help recovering addicts get back to work. That touched me. That touched me personally, because a lot of times with people coming out of jail, you know, who have a record, not even felonies, just a record, with people who made a decision to go down the wrong road, and we all have made mistakes. But you know, they have this saying, once an addict, always an addict. Mama didn't even want you in the house because you might steal her pocketbook, even if you have been clean for 20 years. You know what I mean? You know? So I like what I saw in the workplace, but it's okay. You know, I'm walking through everything that I'm feeling on an emotional level with Strive. But as far as Strive is concerned, I'm doing this for me. And if I go back to work or not, now hear me, if I go back to work or not, depends on my emotional and my physical. I'm getting this certificate for me.
Absolutely.
To say I accomplished something again.
Absolutely.
And not only that, I accomplished something through COVID-19.
I know that's right. I know that's right. I know that's right.
That's it for me.
Well, and you bring up a very, very interesting point, right? Because I think Kara was touching on it a bit as well. When you come through our online training program, right, you're faced with a multitude of barriers, and a lot of it is emotional. A lot of it is, man, I've been in this space for X amount of time, and it's up to me if I'm willing to come out of this. I can't do it for my mother. I can't do it for my kids. I can't do it for my past. I can't do it for nobody else but myself. And that's one of the most authentic components of the experience. It's one of the most valued portions, because when you recognize that it all really starts with you being a support for anybody else really depends on whether or not you can be a support for yourself. So I appreciate your honesty, Rose, and I hope that while we continue this experience, you continue to dedicate. So even though it's been hard, you've done it every morning. You've gotten up, you've been there on time, properly dressed, and contributing valuably, right? So that tells everybody, even though it's hard, you can still do it. But it's all up to you, right? And speaking about difficulty, I know for some of us, right, who are going through this experience, we are not in person, clearly, right? We're clearly getting up every single morning and jumping on a video stream called Zoom to take advantage of this online training. How has that experience been for you, ladies? And do you feel like it's taken away from any of the authentic experiences you would traditionally experience face-to-face? So you're with us, seeing us, right, online. We're clearly not able to touch each other, but do you still feel like it's been in a real experience for you thus far?
Well,
I'll start with Kara.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Rose. Go ahead. Go ahead, Rose.
Okay,
go ahead.
First,
it's okay.
I'm gonna make you laugh. I've already been in quarantine before this.
Okay.
That's because I have 4 EpiPens. I'm allergic to dust, dander, mold, pet dander, you know, so I've always kept away from people as best as I could, because, you know, I have a weak immune system and you know, so I've already been in quarantine. So, but I was looking forward when I decided that I wanted to get involved with the Strive program. I was looking forward to getting out of the house, to having that interaction with other human beings, you know. I was looking forward to it. But for me, this has been even safer for me. Even safer, you know, and I'm still, like I was thinking yesterday, I said, you know what? It feels good. Before this program started, Strive, before I got in this program, I got up with, of course, God, but I got up with me because I live alone. So most of the time I'm talking to me, you know? So now I'm getting up and getting to talk to other people, other humans.
Fair enough.
And it's still the same to me. Just because we're not able to touch, there's more than touch. There's smell, there's sight, there's hearing. So I'm still getting the interaction with human beings. It's the same.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Carol, how has the experience been for you online and connecting with the team, with other counterparts like Janice and Rose? How has this experience been for you?
I find that always have found in my life that it's good to, listen to other people's experiences, you know what I mean, and what they've been through in life and what their perspective and their views on certain issues. I really, I always get a lot out of Janice since I met her. So, meeting Rose, Rose is very, how can I say it? Rose is very
Honest.
outspoken and she's straight to the point, you know what I mean? But, I like the way she expressed her things, and I like the way she put them in the way that she would like to say it, So, I always look forward to learn from other people, like I said, and I hope that people learn from me. The experience itself, my main concern was my homework, my schoolwork, you know what I'm saying? But, I thought I had, I was going to be backed up in that. But, it all worked out. I had already did it and didn't, I was so busy, I have a lot on my plate in my life right now. And I didn't think I was going to be able to do the STRIVE program, you know what I mean? But due to the fact that, the coronavirus, and then my professor expressed to us that we didn't have to have our work on time. So now that was the blessing right there, because when she said that we didn't have to have our work on time, that gave me the initiative to do the STRIVE program. You know what I mean? Because I was concerned, because when you have to have your work in on time, you have to have your work in on time, or you lose your credits and you lose scores and you lose points. So, when she gave us that was what I consider a blessing, because, she said, she emailed us and said, don't worry about having your work in on time. Just send your work in when you can send it in and everything. I will not penalize you for that. You know what I mean? So just send it in. So that was like, okay, so I can do the STRIVE program. You know what I'm saying? So, because if I would have had to have it in on time, it wouldn't have been no way for me to do the STRIVE program. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have to sit down and do the work at the time frame that it needs to be done. And I would never been able to get up in the morning and to pursue this program, because, I would have probably some things I have to research, some things, it's a lot to one assignment. So, I wouldn't have had that time, because I either be up late at night and probably don't get to bed till like 1 a.m. sometime. And, and then I wouldn't have been able to get up in the next 5 hours or 4 hours to get on the STRIVE program. I would have been tired, and it wouldn't have been beneficial being tired. You know what I mean? So I consider that to be a blessing, that I didn't have to turn my work in on time. And to come to find out all my work is up to date. So, that's a good thing, because I thought I was late. So, everything falls in place, you know what I mean? And it gave me time to pursue this program, and, and I enjoy it. The experience, like I said, has been wonderful. I'm glad Janice brought it to my attention. And it's been very beneficial. Jahira has been a plus. You know what I mean? And, for her to be so young and have the intellect that she had, you know what I mean? When I first met her, it was inspirational. It gave me like the initiative to want to go for the next day. You know what I mean? Because of her insight, and you know what I mean? And like I said, again, her age, to be 26 years old, it was just amazing. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I can talk to her. I can listen to her. So let me get up and get ready so I can get with Jahira. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
And then the group itself, and then the facilitators, you know what I mean? Ren is excellent. Renee, you know what I mean? She's good. Devonna, I mean, it's just been a very enlightening process, and you know what I mean? It's been wonderful. everything that I have picked up in this week and a half. I mean, it was a lot of information. You know what I mean? It's a lot of information, and so after this is all over, I could say it was successful. So
Good,
that's
good,
my
good.
experience from this program.
Good. And just so you know, Carol, Jahira sends hello. She says thank you. She is with us. She can't hear everything you said. So for those of you who do not know, this is your first time listening, we've been lucky enough to have some dynamic facilitators on our team. From Ren to Jahira to Kiwan to Devonna, like they've been doing a marvelous job with the women. So when you hear them use these names, know that they are the facilitators that they've been going through this process with. And it's so interesting you bring that up, Carol, because one of the constant things about Strive has always been how dynamic their facilitators are, how authentic the experience has been, how mature and beyond their times they've been able to share with the groups, connect with people of all ages. So thank you so much for sharing that. Getting to you super quick, Janice, what has this virtual experience been like for you? Do you think that we've lost any authenticity or any of the feel of a traditional training program because we've been online?
Wow. Just let me let you know that so I got introduced to Strive because I walked into City Hall and someone told me that I needed to meet with Marcus. That's how I got introduced to it. But I want to tell you what got me excited about wanting to participate and take the training. So I've been referring the women to Strive, and every day the women been coming back excited, especially about Ren, the facilitator. The first day, I had a client that I worked with, and she was really struggling. And when I tell you she was struggling, and I kind of I convinced her to go to Strive. I said, go to Strive, just try it. And because she didn't have no work, she didn't have nothing to do. Her going to Strive, she got more than just how to fill out a resume. She came back crying a few times, but in her tears, it was joy because she was able to pull up some stuff from her past. And I kept saying, what? I thought they was teaching you how to fill out a resume, how to get a job. She said, no, Miss Janice, like, oh my God, they go deep. We had to talk about where we were born, how we felt growing up and all of that stuff, which is good because for me personally, it wasn't until I was able to deal with my past that I was able to move forward, right? So you guys kind of set people up to like deal with you first, right? Deal with you first, and then you'll be able to deal with, the people that you're about to go into the workforce with. But what I'm really glad that I'm a part of it because I've learned so much. I just started a nonprofit organization called New Lifestyles for Women. And what I do is I help the women get transitioned back into the community. And we do it by empowering each other. I've been where you've been, and if I could do it, you can make it out. And just to be a support for women. What I've learned myself, right? Because I'm always teachable and I'm always open. I really enjoyed the SMART goals, right? Because I'm a type of person that never did stuff in order. I just did it, and for somehow it got done. But I've learned how to like do a SMART goal now, right? And that's something that I didn't know how to do. I've learned how to like do an action plan and make it happen. And I was wondering why it was taking me so long to get to where I was going. And that's only because I didn't like do a plan. Like do a plan, just stop jumping in it. And I learned all of that stuff. Like how to, oh my God, when I tell you, I learned so much and I'm so grateful. But the women are the ones that inspired me to go. Right. And I felt like if I'm referring people to Strive, how better would that be for me to at least say, go to Strive, like get connected with Strive. Ms. Janice, how did you know? Because I am a graduate of Strive program.
I know that's right.
Right? So I wanted to have the experience because the joy that they brought back to me, I'm telling you, my phone rung every day after each of Ren classes. After each class, oh, Ms. Janice, they were so excited. So I wanted to get that same experience. And when I tell you, that is teaching me order. I'm getting up on time. I even started a to-do list, and I'm checking off stuff, and it got done. I only missed one thing on my to-do list yesterday. So it's helping me also. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to get the word out. I can't wait to finish so I can send more people to Strive, because I'm like so excited about what you guys are doing. So I appreciate it. The facilitators, awesome. Each one of them. And I appreciate what you guys are doing. So yeah, that's all I got.
Well, again, thank you for all the praise. Again, shout out Ren. Keep doing what you're doing. Clearly it's working. Clearly you're influencing lives and people are learning. So again, Ren Brockmeyer, thank you so much. Kiwan says thank you. Again, you know, they're sending their love. They're hearing the feedback that you ladies are giving, and they are definitely show their support. So you brought up something that's very, very important though, right? For each and every one of us, while we go through this experience, it's important that we get something from it, something personal. Because I don't know about you all, but I've taken programs before, right? And we know in the traditional program setting, you just show up, you sit your behind in that seat, you don't got to talk, you don't have to share anything. At the end of the day, you get your certificate and you move on, right? What we try to make it about is we try to make it this personal discovery process that you go through. Something for you that you can pull back on and say, you know what, that really spoke to me. That really worked for me. And I want to tell everybody that I know about this experience so they can get what I got from it, right? I wanted to ask you ladies, what's something that you still want to learn? We still got a week and a half left, right? A whole bunch of conversation, a whole bunch of discovery, a whole bunch of activities, more homework for Carol, right? What is something else that you would like to learn over the next week and a half? I guess I will start with Janice, since I ended with her.
Well, like I said, I just started a to-do list, and it's really working. It has worked the last couple of days. And for me, what I need to learn is time management. And I spoke about it in our group. Because I have a lot of stuff on my plate, and not only it being a lot on my plate, it's all brand new territory for me. I'm the CEO, I'm the founder of a nonprofit organization, and there's a lot of stuff that I just don't know, right? So believe it or not, I get up every morning because you guys have been, you know, this curriculum has been like really teaching me how to better prepare me to be better at what I'm doing. So my time management, because I have a lot on my plate, you know, how to prioritize what's important, what needs to be done. Communication is a big one. We touched on it already. I got a whole lot out of it. Communication, like how do I remove Janice's personal stuff out the way and make it, it's about the business. It's about the people that's sitting in front of me, and not to bring me in my personal story, because I know how I get real personal, right? I want to learn how to sit there and listen without crying with the people, because I cry with them in a minute, and I'll hold them and I like help them walk through it, and then I take them home with me. And I need not to do that. I need not to take each woman home that that comes in contact with me. So it's a lot that I know I need to learn, and I probably won't get it in 3 weeks, but you guys are surely opening up a whole lot of stuff that I need to learn. And I'm like, yeah. So communication, time management, you know, how to balance, how to, my personal from the organization, how not to take these people home with me once I go home. Yeah.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
I know that's right, and I appreciate that, because I remember when I first got into the nonprofit business, I'll be the first person to say I should have been fired after day 3, because I broke every single rule that you were. Because when you get into this work, you have such a strong heart for the community, right? You want to help each and every person that you come in contact with, because in a lot of respects, you see yourself in them. So you want to try to do whatever you can to make sure they don't go through the same pathway that you go through. So I completely understand, Janice. And thank you for that feedback. So let's shift the roles. What's something over the next week and a half that you want to learn while you're hanging out with us online, going through this job readiness training?
You know, I was really thinking about that. And
Mm.
first, I used to work for Yale medical van, and they also had the needle exchange van back then too. I've gone through the DBT program, which helps you to deal with your emotions. I've been through a lot of programs. I have a psychologist I've been with for about 30 years. I have a clinician from Clifford Beers.
Mm.
I have a lot of things in place to help me cope with society. Now I'm in the Strive program. What I'm hoping the next couple of weeks I keep getting and I keep seeing is compassion, love, understanding, loyalty, the willingness to change, and that when this is all over, when we get back to, I don't know why we keep saying get back to, because for me personally, I don't want to get back to. I want to get better to when this is over.
Wow.
So what I'm looking for is just what I've been getting. You know, I had a situation, and I'm not going to bring it up, but I had to make some amends for my behavior. And what was important to me is for me not to feel like, because all it could have taken was a bad reaction from the staff, from my cohorts. It could have just took a bad reaction to make that negative in me say, I don't need this. I'm out of here. I came in, I made amends, they didn't accept, they were mean to me, they treated me differently, I'm out of here. But that didn't happen. And I'm grateful for that. So when this is over, I just hope that we as human beings, because Strive does, I mean, Janice is right, Carol was right. It's not about homework, you know, like in school, you know, as far as like college or whatever. Strive tapped into emotions, like a therapist, like a psychologist, like DBT. And I was like, wow, I thought, you know, what they want to know all of this for? But if you don't heal from your past, you're going to bring it right to the present. And I know this well. So everything for me, what I'm looking for out of Strive is emotionally. It's emotion. I just want to come out even more understanding, loving, and caring person. So thank you.
Wow. Thank you. No. Thank you. And, you know, Devonna, Keisha, Jahira all send their love. And it takes a lot. It takes so much to say, I want to bring this back to you because I recognize something within myself. And to go through that process and then have it received is a feeling unlike no other. Because so many times, right, we go to somebody authentically and they don't receive it, and it puts us in this position to harden our hearts. And then we begin to say, if I put my authentic self out there, it's going to continuously get crushed, right? So I appreciate you sharing that, Rose, because at the end of the day, we're humans. We're connected to each other, and the only way we can become better or succeed is if we do it together. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Talk to me, Carol. Like, you know, we're getting a lot of valuable things from Janice, from Rose, in relation to what they want to get over the next week and a half. What's important to you over the next week and a half to get from this experience?
Rose just took she just took some of my thoughts, but but it was good what she said, because I could relate to her on that note. My main thing, since being here for this week and a half is that the emotional part, right? Because I have an issue of dealing with my emotions. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. My emotions, my emotions, like you know, I'm a mother of 7 kids. You know, my youngest is 25, and you know, due to, you know, past experiences, you know, they have a lot of baggage, you know what I mean? And they don't understand my change, you know what I mean, in my life. And, you know, it causes a lot of emotions, you know what I mean? And it causes a lot of past experiences to come back in the forefront of my mind, you know what I mean? And, you know, I'll sit back and I'll analyze, you know what I mean? And I'll sit in that and stew in it for a little while until I shake it off. You know what I mean? So, you know, and I already made it through that process. You know what I mean? But it seemed like they take me back there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and that's where I say, like, the emotional part, you know, in my life that I really need to work on, where it don't have me stewing. You know what I mean? Because I already made it through that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, that's the part of my life where it's a fact, because you know, I'll sit down. I don't, you know, I'm in a way I'm a recovery addict, but I still, you know, I'll drink, you know, here and there, but if I'm going through something, I'll drink more. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I look at that and I see that. You know what I mean? That's why I said on the note of my spiritual aspect, because you know I could deal much better with that intact. But you know, it's just like, you know, I have to, you know, my thing is new to me is learning how to separate. You know what I mean? Because one time I couldn't separate from people. I had to keep them under me because I thought I needed them. You know what I mean? Even though if they did me harm or if they did me wrong or whatever they did to me, I thought I needed them in my circle. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But today I realized that I don't need nobody in my circle. If you're not beneficial to me and you're not valuing my relationship with you and you're not valuing my respect, I don't need you in my circle. That goes for kids, friends, whatever. You know what I mean? Because today I'm learning what I need in my life, what I want in my life, what's going to help me get to where I need to get to in my life. So, you know, I would disconnect myself from any negative aspects that I think is going to put me in a place that I'm striving to stay away from.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Carol. Thank you. Thank you, because, you know, because we all know energy is contagious. When you invite the wrong people around you, you become the old adage is you are who you hang around, right?
Exactly.
So again, thank you for that. With that being said, I wanna honor people's time. I know I told us we're only going to be on here for a brief second, but I wanted to again thank you, ladies, for taking the time to come and join us. This experience for me has been enlightening. I wanted everybody to hear what it's like to be a part of our online training program. And my hope is that through this experience, they can understand that you can still overcome, even though you can't be there physically with them, we still are able to do it emotionally together. For those of you, again, who are viewing this, thank you for taking the time to hang out with us. Again, my name is Marcus Cherry. I am a program director of Strive, which is a program of career resources. And what we're doing online, just in case you didn't hear me in the beginning, right now we're operating a program called Platforms to Employment, which is offered by the workplace. And in that space, as you heard from the women, we're doing great things. We're doing great things. So in the event you're interested in joining us, we have another online training starting on May 4th. We would love to hear from you, love to bring you on, love for you to experience the exact same thing that these women are going through. Feel free to reach out to Keisha Starks, who is our assistant director. You can reach her at starks@careerresources.org. Again, that is starks@careerresources.org. Thank you. Thank you, ladies, for coming on and hanging out with us. And guess what? I will see you right in the morning.
Okay.
All right now. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.